Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure. Alright guys, we're up here on the big lake today and I'm testing something new. This fluorocarbon from Berkeley called Gin Clear. Got it on a spinnerbait from Black Fly. Got this on the Cast King Spartacus 2. So I just strung this up and pretty good line. You can kind of see it right there. Just pitching this around, kind of a copper craw colored spinnerbait. I love those single blade Colorados. That goes back to when I grew up pike fishing up in Iowa, learning how to do a spinnerbait. That was like my first lure besides a spoon. Hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate all the support. My name's Alan. I'm usually making some kind of fishing video. I'm still in this tournament for BTL St. Jude. Man, I gotta whack a couple of plus 20s today. Thanks for supporting the channel, guys. The channel's doing really well. I put out an interesting video recently, and that's the baseball card video. I saw that my little toad, I've been having to go through things, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make one of me opening this up. I hadn't opened it up since the early 2000s. So I make points of interest videos, different things. So hopefully people didn't run and bail from from the channel just because I put up the old baseball video. But anyway, man, I hope we catch them. The water is up finally. We had that big rain last weekend. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. There it is right there from Black Fly. Got a Berkeley Power Stinger on the back of that. I should have snipped the nose of it off before I rigged it, but I didn't. It seems to be working okay. So in case you're wondering about spinnerbaits, most of the ones I catch are with less than 6 feet of water. It's a perfect little bait for that. So I just crank, and then kill it. Crank, and kill it. I got this on the 6/8 Bass X from St. Croix. Man, it's a great rod. It's your entry-level rod, but I really like it. Man, you can see the shad just coming in here, spawning, flickering all over the place. See right down there? But as soon as you get close, whew, it's like they disappear. All right, I gotta give a shout out to my nephews, Jacob and Harrison, and all their baseball buddies. They're in full swing with all their tournaments, and man, I hope they have a great season. It's that time of year, baseball's firing up. So is fishing. Yeah, last time I was walking down through here in the mud, so a little bit different for today. I like this Gin Clear from Berkeley. So I think we're pretty much spawned out around here. There may be some late spawners. I got the full tilt of fishing lures today, boys, because I got to make some hay. I'm trying to stay in the top 10 in my division. Right now I'm 7th. I need a couple plus 20s and I should be okay. All right, guys, nothing on that spinnerbait, so I'm switching to the Bill Dance fat-free shad. This one's suspending. It's got the red writing and the red eyes. They don't make these anymore, but if I find them on eBay for a good price, I always pick them up. I love throwing these. This is one lure that gets down really quick, bangs around down there, suspends perfectly. Just crank it a little bit, let it get down there, and just let it hang there. Then give it a couple of twitches. Then I give it a crank, and then I give it a nice sweep. I'd say about 75% of the time the fish follow a lure. They're intrigued, you know, they're curious. It's up to you to get them to hammer it. So either pauses, twitches. Boy, and she'll dig in there. That's a good thing about it, is that she'll get some puffs. Now, one thing I do with these is I can turn some of them into square bills. Although the bill is unique enough to where it'll do a lot of deflection, but I'll go ahead and file that down and turn it into like a legit square bill. So I've got a few of those that I do that with. Oh yeah, guys, I had a little white bass come up and hit that spinner bait. He wasn't very big, but like 6 inches. So I just, you know, I didn't record on that. Man, that's a cool bait. And they're not very expensive. You can go on LureNet and get them. Now, you can't get the suspending ones, but they do have the fat freeze on there. A whole bunch of different lines of them. Go check them out. Get some. God, look at that thing. That's a cool bait right there. All right, guys, check this out. My buddy Jason made these little jigs. I put them on a jig spinner. These are little crappie. You can catch just about anything on them. Go check out his channel, Weckerle Outdoors. Just some great content there. A lot of walleye, pike, muskie, white bass, and he's got some great tips. But he was kind enough to make a bunch of these for me. And right now, white bass and crappie are zipping through here, and bass. So I'm going to give this a try. Just got it on a little gold spinner. As usual, cast a country mile. All right, guys, I got this on the Crappie Thunder, Mr. Crappie rod. And this one's got a 4-pound leader and 4-pound line. Braid to a fluoro leader. God, look at that thing. Yep, that's gonna work just fine. I do have a little clip on there so I can switch out colors. Doesn't really affect the fishing, I've noticed. Been throwing all kinds of stuff trying to get the bass to bite, but they won't do it. Nothing doing. All right, boys, we're hooked up on one of Jason's little hair jigs. This guy's pulling some drag, acting like one of these little white bass. Could be a crappie. Yep. There he is. Check it out, man. That's a nice fish. Whew, look at that. Right in the corner of the mouth. Little hair jig right there. There he is. There you go, buddy. That's it right there with a little gold blade. Well, he just popped it. That was good stuff right there. That's all I'm doing, just pitching it out there. Crank, 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 kill it. Twitch, twitch, crank, 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 kill it. Twitch, twitch. Crank, 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 kill it. Twitch, twitch. I gotta give 2 thumbs up for these jigs he made. These things are epic. And they're great colors because see how the water's stained a little bit and it's cloudy? You got that chartreuse and black, that contrast. He knows exactly what he's doing when he's making those jigs. Thought I had a bite there. It's just a little snag. Yeah, the water's up, so there's like some debris down there. We finally had some nice rain right before Easter. We're supposed to get massive storms tonight. I mean, tomorrow night. All right, guys, one thing I always do is practice throwing the football heads. This one's a Beast Coast dozer right here, and I swim it. That's my whole deal, swimming it. This skirt comes pretty good, not too thick. I could thin it out a little more. I like to try to get around 25, but this one's fine. And I try not to let it be so uniform. And I'm just gonna swim this dude. Let's take a look in the water. Boy, this thing is nice and heavy. Just like that, look at the legs kicking. Looks like a little frog or a toad or even like a crawfish. So I like swimming the football heads because when you bang into something down there, you just kill it or just pull it through, and it attracts a lot of attention. You don't have to crank it very fast. Got this one on the St. Croix Icon 12-pound braid sunline to 12-pound fluoro sunline. That's just a setup that works for me. Sometimes I'll do straight braid on the swim jigs, on the jigs. This is almost like a Carolina rig. Just keep it moving down there. See, I can feel the rocks. It's like you're counting rocks. I'm going to trim this skirt up just a little bit. Alright guys, we're at spot number 2. I'm going to start off with this Bomber Long A 14A with a little bit of flash. We're going to run that through the rocks. Alright, so spot number 2, like I was saying, I'm throwing the Long A. We're going to work these rocks over here, and we'll see how things play out. Hopefully I don't get snagged. If I get snagged, it's okay. I got a bunch of these. I got a huge stash of them. Just gotta watch out for snakes and debris. Yeah, this water is kind of murky, but what I was using before looks just like a minnow. Alright, so that cast I cast so I can feel where like the bottom is, the rocks. Seems pretty shallow. I don't see any beds. Normally I'll see some beds or leftover beds through here, but I don't see any. I try not to bed fish, but sometimes I do. Alright guys, we're hooked up at spot number 2. Got a good bass in here on the Bomber Long A. Oh boy, he T-boned it. Check that out. Man, that's a nice catch right there. Let's get him back in the water. There you go, buddy, for the release. You check him out right there. Not a bad fish. There you go. Off he goes. Right there, Bomber Long A. Alright boys, we're hooked up on a 6 cents mineral. We got a good bass. He just came in and just clocked it. I don't need him to get me cut off on the rocks here. There he is. Let's go, buddy. Let's go, let's go. There we go. Whew. Oh. All right, guys. Let's get him in here for the release. He's a little bit muddy, but he's a big old boy right there. That's a nice fish. All right, there you go for the release. There he goes. A little bit sandy. So that's what I was using right there. 6 cents mineral, 1/4 ounce swim jig with a Berkley Power Stinger as a trailer. All right, guys. State Police, Texas Parks and Wildlife deployed the boat because there's a dude out there on a float plane doing bombing missions. He's like doing landing and taking off in a float plane. I called it El Chapo's plane. He hadn't done it lately, but I should have got footage of him. He would like turn and go right over me. He'd go way out there and land, kill the engine, then take off. But anyway, I was dealing with that big fish. So, and then I dropped my phone in the sand. Whew. Anyway, 20 on the catch board was that one. I'm gonna load it up right now into the fishing tournament app. Oh my gosh, guys, that fish was a beast. What a nice catch that was. It's a really nice lure, and I was just fishing in and out of these rocks, and it drops off to about 10-15 feet deep in there, and he came up and just pow. There's some grass, you can't see it, but it's there. So that was a great fish catch right there. All right, there we go. Let's keep fishing. All right, guys, we're at stop, or we're at the next stop. There we go. And I'm throwing the 6 cents mineral. Oh man. All right, guys, I'm fishing one of Jason's hair jigs that he made for me. I'm trying to catch some crappie or some massive bluegill out of here. I was fishing a swim jig for a little bit. Got 2 whacks on that thing, but I couldn't get them in. Their big crappie tried to hit it. So we're gonna try to see how this goes. I got this on 4-pound Sunline fluoro leader. With 4-pound braid, crappie braid. Actually, it's 4-pound. I think I used to have 6, but I switched to 4. Look at that. Had a little guy follow. Yep, there's some big crappie in here, that's for sure. Oh. Dang, I thought on the fall I had one. I felt a dink, dink. Get some big bass out of here too. All right, boys, we're hooked up on the drop shot on the Kalins. That's a good fish. Kalins Lunker Grub. I think this is in like avocado color. Come on, get out of there. Oh man, he spit it. How did he spit it? He turned me loose in some cabbage. Dang it. That was a good fish too. Oh man, come on. Had a good hook set and everything. I can't remember what color that is in the Kalins. Dirty avocado, I think. Man. The cabbage came at the end because he spit it, and that's when I hooked into all that dang cabbage. But he was pulling some drag, I can tell you that. Got this on the Bass X 6.8. Even though these Bass X's, guys, are intro level rods, these things are terrific. I'm in some cabbage here. If you need a whole bunch of just rods to have that can get beat up, these are the ones. Let's go, come on. All right, boys, we're hooked up on the Kalen's lunker grub. It's doing this dopey thing where it wants to get in the grass. There he is. There we go. And that's a nice fish right there. Let's go. Man, right in the corner of the mouth. I use these Bass Pro Shops little drop shot kits, and they work just fine. Hooks never bend out. There he is. Check out that guy. That's a nice fish right there. Let's see what he's been eating. Nothing. All right, there you go, buddy. Off you go. There it is, right there. Just a simple little Kalen's lunker grub. I'm gonna switch to another bait that I've been very curious about. See the hook? No issues there. Part of that little drop shot system they sell. All right, there it is. The Kalen's lunker grub. What is this one? 5-inch. All right, let's swap it out. All right, guys, next up is the 6 Sense Fiction Shad. Look at that guy. 2.8. I've caught some fish on this before. It is a great little lure, and we're gonna see what we can hammer on the drop shot. Let me get to my location as we're wading through. There we go. Big crappie in here, big bass, big bluegill. Picks up a little bit of cabbage, but I don't mind that because you know the fish are cruising along in the cabbage looking for an easy meal. Look at that thing. Boom, bomb cast a country mile. The cool thing about a drop shot is it's silent, it's not obnoxious, it's just kind of floating along there, twitching. I just give it some quick little twitches and I keep the line tight so the wind's blowing right into me, and a lot of people don't like drop shotting in that. I don't ever have a problem. You just kind of keep it moving, or you let the current take it. That's the other way, but you got to keep your line semi-tight, you know. Man, I felt like I had a hit there. I think these are, a lot of guys use these for ice fishing up north. Just put a little jig head and drop it down there. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for me at all these locations today. Thanks for hanging out with me. Man, it was a great day, tinkering with stuff. It was just a lot of fun. Until next time, I will see you then. Bye-bye. Now get out there and get your lures wet.